So I feel like one of the most common comments I get is about how to control spin. People feel like they're spinning too fast, not spinning enough. So I'm gonna offer up some tips and some things that you can maybe try to help improve that spin control. So the first, and this sounds so obvious, but I find it does tend to help people when I tell them in class. It's really a lot about how hard you push off of the ground for your spin combo. So what I'll notice with beginners a lot of the time is they'll feel like they have to really push off of the ground. So they will almost like jump into things sometimes, and then they'll just almost immediately lose control. They'll still try to do the combo and it just ends in dizziness. So what you wanna do is at first take it slower than you think you need to. Think about slowly pushing off of the ground instead of like jumping into a spin or anything like that. And if you feel ever like you are going too fast or like you've lost control, go ahead and come out of it. As you get more advanced, then maybe you can try to regain control, but usually, and I mean I even do this today when I'm practicing, if I feel like I've started and it's too fast, I'll almost immediately just come out of it, unless you're like already in a performance, in a routine, whatever. The next thing you can do is either lean away or contract yourself in. Now this is if you are already up the pole in a move, say you're like in a sit. If you want to slow down, you're gonna wanna lean away. You're gonna wanna extend an arm out. That's going to slow you down. On the other side of that, if you feel like you are slowing down at the end of the combo and you wanna pick up speed, you wanna finish that rotation, then contracting in is going to help you pick up a little bit of speed there. The next tip I have, and this is not going to help you like speed up or slow down, but this is just gonna help you feel more in control of your spin, is just learning to really engage the muscles that you're wanting to. So a classic example of this is in the pencil hold. If you're not familiar, that's hand over hand, shoulders pulling down, feet pointing towards the ground. Something that happens sometimes, especially with people who are newer to this move, is they don't fully engage their core, and so their body's kind of swinging to one side of the pole. And as soon as that happens, for a lack of a polite way to say this, you're kind of just like dead weight. And it's just gonna really make it a lot harder to feel like you're in control. As opposed to if the core is engaged, your feet are pointing down, your shoulders are back, everything is aligned. Even if you're going super fast, you're going to feel in control, and that's ultimately just going to make it a more pleasant experience overall. Now, to practice spin pole, I would say think of your like maybe top 3 comfort moves. So for me, when I was first starting out, that would have been like a pole sit, a jasmine, and then maybe just like a basic fireman spin. And what you're gonna do is you're just going to practice those individual tricks on spin pole. Start really slowly. Like it's much easier to work your way up to speed, I think, than to start really fast and then try to gain control from there. So always start slowly, come down. If that felt too easy, okay, you can try it with a little bit more speed. Focusing on those comfort moves, especially close to the ground, is just going to allow you to get comfortable. It's going to allow your mind to sort of accept this is something that is okay. So yes, try a few comfort moves, do reps of them. I know no one seems to like conditioning in the beginning, but conditioning is just going to make everything else so much easier. So think of that like, eating your pole vegetables, do your basic pole sit, do your jasmine, hold it a few times, maybe varying speed intensity. If you're brand new, maybe just doing a few slow spins with each trick. And this last tip is specifically for those who say that spin pole either makes them dizzy or nauseous. There can be a few reasons for this. Firstly, give yourself breaks in the beginning. It is not something that many adults do to hold on to a spinning object for any kind of significant length of time. So again, going back to the point about just holding your simple go-to tricks, hold a chair spin for maybe 2 rotations, come down, take a break, and then go back to it once you're feeling nice and stable again. The other thing I would say is make sure you're hydrated. If you're dehydrated, you're just gonna be much more susceptible to nausea, to dizziness. So always having water nearby, not taking big gulps where you feel like your belly is swooshing around, but just taking little sips, staying hydrated, very important. The other thing that could help with dizziness is making sure we're doing both sides. And not just both sides, but both directions. So I feel like this was not emphasized like 8 years ago when I was starting, but I think the pole community all in all has gotten a lot better about training both sides, going in both directions. Going in both directions when you're practicing new spins will just help you feel a little bit more balanced and should help with that dizziness. And then the last tip, nothing else works for you because you're nauseous. I have heard that some people have success with ginger. So there are ginger tablets you can buy. I can link some that have been recommended to me on Amazon. And some people like swear by this. So if you're feeling nauseous and nothing else is helping, ginger might be the way to go. Thank you so much for watching and happy polling.